Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So just recently, Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, was sentenced to house arrest, 120 days if I'm not mistaken, over a video that he made threatening Offset while on Instagram Live. Now, apparently, allegedly, this beef, this stupid fighting that they've been doing back and forth, started at the VMAs. Allegedly, one of Kenneth Petty's friends was messing with Offset at the VMAs. Then they took it to social media, going back and forth, DMing each other. Then led to this, escalated to this video that him and his friends posted of making all these threats, talking all this noise, talking about how they're around the corner. Oh, come outside, Offset, we got something for you. Meanwhile, Offset is living his best life, letting his inner child come out, if you will, playing around and dancing around in Kai Cenat's living room. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I'll never understand why people get on the internet and do stuff like this, film themselves doing stuff that's actually illegal, and think that just because they're a celebrity or they're connected to a celebrity by extension, that they're going to get away with it. Yes, sometimes they do, but a lot of times they still get caught. They still have to suffer repercussions. I also never understand why grown men are involving themselves in the beef of their wives, because that's really what this also boils down to. A lot of this beef is engineered, first of all, by the industry to monetize off of, but even if it wasn't, it's still ridiculous for them to fight amongst each other like this as an extension, like I said, of the beef between their wives. If anybody, the men should have been the ones that should have been like, we're not going to be fighting. They can do what they want to do. We're going to stay out of the mess. We're going to stay out of the drama. But no, instead, they decided to be almost as bad as some of these women out here, with all of the cattiness, being gossipy, if you will, the mess and the drama. As a side note, I feel like there's something that went a bit unnoticed by most people that stuck out to me very strongly. Notice I said that Kenneth Petty's friend was the one who seemed like he caused all this drama, allegedly, and he was definitely the one feeding the fire, fueling the fire, if you will, that led up to, for whatever dumb reason, like I said, Petty being goofy enough to make that video of himself threatening Offset. Every person has to be held accountable for their own personal actions. Although, if you have a friend that's instigating stuff that you then get involved in, whether you chose to or you were dragged into it, and they pump you up to do something that then got you in trouble, I would be giving that friend the side eye. I'm going to be real honest. I'm going to just put that out there for y'all to think about. But anyways, it made me chuckle when people were trying to claim that Offset called the police or that he snitched on him for this video. It was funny to me because didn't nobody snitch on that dude. The dude snitched literally on himself whenever he made that video and uploaded it for the entire world to see, including his probation officer. Speaking of his probation, let's talk about that, shall we? First of all, he was on probation to begin with because he failed to register as a you-know-what offender in California, and the reason why he was even a you-know-what offender and had to register as one to begin with is because he was convicted of attempted R-word back in the 90s. Ain't no allegedly to it. He was indeed convicted of this crime, and for all the people who like to go back and forward over allegedlys, I even underlined it in the article for your convenience. You can't be out here with the kind of criminal background that he has, already on probation, thinking you just gonna slide by after doing something goofy like that. I don't think so. That makes him really all the more stupid for doing this, knowing that he's already on thin ice. He was already on probation, and he's already got a criminal background that everybody already knows. As a matter of fact, from what I can understand, if he would have just registered whenever he moved to California, he probably could have avoided that probation. But before anybody tries to be an apologist for this dude talking about then he would have to be on the register, then he would have to be an actual you-know-what registered offender. We should care why. If he did the crime, he needs to be held accountable. Nobody forced him to do what he did, just like nobody forced him to make that goofy video. Another thing that struck me as odd, and this might just be me, I don't know, but people keep asking why Nicki Minaj is still involved with this dude despite all that has happened, all that he has done, talking about he's gonna ruin her career and she needs to drop him like a hot sack of potatoes. It's not about to happen. Clearly, this is the kind of man that she wanted to be with. Had not it been, she wouldn't have married him. She wouldn't have had a kid for him. She wouldn't still have him in her life. And she wouldn't be constantly standing by him despite all the stuff that he's done, which says a lot about Nicki Minaj as a person. Like I've said before 1,000 times on this channel, I have no allegiance to these celebrities. They didn't die on the cross for my sins. They do plenty of wrong. I don't have to know them personally to know that a lot of them are raggedy. And I'm going to call it like it is. I'm going to keep it like it is. A lot of people were mad on the internet, specifically YouTube from what I can see, because they felt like a lot of YouTubers, a lot of bloggers weren't keeping it real, weren't telling the truth, and were taking either one side or the other in this scenario. They were just saying, we just want the facts. We want people to be unbiased. We don't want y'all to take up for one or the other person when y'all know one or the other person could be wrong. Well, welcome to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody, because I don't take up for any of these people. But anyways, one more thing that I wanted to mention that I kind of noticed a few people were, making it seem like Cardi B was this oh so poor, sad victim. And I guess to a degree she is by extension, so to speak, because of her husband. The threat was sent to him. But I'm just not here for that. I'm going to be real honest, quite frankly. And the reason why is because we're not going to sit up here and act like these people aren't all cut from the same very raggedy, very criminal-minded cloth. There are people who have alleged that Nicki is one of those types of people who will send people after people, if you get my drift. Allegedly, during a time whenever the woman who was a victim of her husband was coming to speak, there were people who were alleging that she tried to threaten this woman from saying anything about her husband, allegedly. But all this brings me back to that time, like I said, trying not to be petty, but it is what it is. Whenever Cardi B allegedly sent goons, if you will, to go and rough up, beat up, mess with those two strippers who she caught sleeping around with her husband, instead of mollywopping her husband for sleeping around on her. If you ask me, all of this is just the repercussions of their actions. You reap what you sow, whether y'all want to believe that or not. You can't be out here sending threats, subtle threats, going after people, misdirected rage and misdirected anger, if you will, and then not expect to catch that same energy from somebody else. You also can't be out here perpetuating gangster mentalities, and this kind of stuff that they've been obviously perpetuating, and not think that, once again, the repercussions and the consequences for doing so aren't going to catch up with you. But anyways, like I said, this is all a stupid big mess. They are all ridiculous. I'm not trying to age shame anybody, but all of them are too old to be doing this. They really look like and are acting like children on the internet. And it's really sad. It's really ridiculous. And there are people watching their every move, copying this, looking up to these people. Like, these are the people that these kids, these younger people, the younger generation are looking up to. And this is a stupid mess that they do. Y'all, we're in trouble. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think and how y'all feel down in the comments below respectfully. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all have a blessed day.